Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the all-new 2027 Keystone Montana High Country 391 TV. What is this, you ask? Well, this is going to be a double bedroom, double full bath fifth wheel. Now, again, it's not like this is a super brand new floor plan in essence, because years past, the full Montana line had the 3915, which was an amazing floor plan. That's basically what we have here. But what they have done is they took what was great about the 381 TB High Country, what was great about the 381, what was great about the 3915 Montana, and they combined it into this bad boy right here, the 391 TB. So let's kind of start in the back, and then we'll make our way kind of up front. There is a ton to talk about, so bear with me. It might be a little bit longer video. We have a huge fifth wheel here, folks. I mean, we can start, I guess, with a few specs. So you're looking at, this one is 15,765 pounds dry. It is 1 inch under 44 foot long, so 4311. And then when we go outside, you'll see that this one also has 8,000 pound axles. Now let's start here in the back. First off, this one has a back entry. Not all of your double bedrooms give you the back entry. I personally really like it, especially with this setup, because this one has an outside kitchen. We'll see in a little bit outside, which is very rare for this type of floor plan. Now you will also see your sink in here is going to be solid surface, right? They didn't skimp out on the sink. Montana went through a complete redesign and rebrand, and holy cow, they did the same thing with the High Country, and I love what they have done. Absolutely beautiful. You have a bank of drawers here. You have storage underneath. You'll get your nice big medicine cabinet here. You can see all that storage space there. Plus you have storage up top. Plenty of space for your linens. And then across the way, actually, you know what? Let me step in here just to show you how ridiculous this is, right? I always like to show shower height, but I could be, 10 foot tall and not have an issue. So you're definitely not gonna have any issues with height. It also has the built-in shower door. This is antimicrobial, so it's not like it has to dry off. You can roll it right back up. You don't have to worry about mold or anything like that. You also get the upgraded Oxygenics shower head. And I don't know if you noticed, folks, but this is a one-piece shower, right? Has an actual shelf built in. The shelf is actually usable, which I like. And you have in the corners, you have a little spot so you can put your foot. So if you need to shave your legs, it makes it a whole heck of a lot easier. I really like having a one-piece shower simply because it's less chance for leaks, right? It's what I have at my house. It's what I want in my RV. Also, if we take a look all the way up top, beep, 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 we can see right there you have the vent fan. That's a terrible angle. But you have the vent fan there, max air fan, so that way you can quickly get the steam out of here. Now, as we kind of go into this bedroom right back here, this is going to be your king bed. You have shelves on both sides that those do drop down. Both sides also have windows. Yes, they open, so you can get cross ventilation there. The headboard is going to be right there. A couple of reading lights too. I like the fact it's a padded headboard, so you can sit up against it, because right here at the foot of the bed is a TV. So that way you can watch some TV. You have the window right down underneath. Your roller shades, blackout of course. Bank of drawers all the way underneath. But check this out. This, again, is super smart design. So with the wardrobe, you have a hanging rod, and it's deep enough you can actually put normal hangers. Most of the time you can't, right? It has to be a different hanging rod to be able to fit hangers in here. You can actually fit standard hangers. How did they do it? You'll see right here, they bumped this out, right? So that way the bed can still slide underneath, but they bumped this out to give you that little bit of extra depth so that you are able to hang clothes in there. Now this one is gonna just be like a shirt closet, right? Because this is kind of a little bit blocked off, but that's because that's part of the outside kitchen. We'll check that out in just a little bit. But the other side, I mean, that's going to be full length, right? Even if you have dresses, things like that, you can actually hang them in there. Really big fan of what they have done. Now, as we step out, okay, we can see the main living area here. You have theater seats. These, of course, going to be the best seat in the house. They power recline. You have the little cup holder right in the center. And then you have the sofa on the side. Now, a lot of times in this floor plan, instead of having this slide out, they'll do an L-shaped sofa here in its place. Well, there's two things that's, I guess, not problematic, but there's a couple things here. One, by going this route, this is going to be a 75-inch couch, Whereas if you do the L-shaped, it's only like 70 to 72. So you do get a few extra inches of width, which also means you're going to get a bigger bed when that pulls out, because that is a sleeper sofa. And also, because you don't have a slide out right here that's going to push this in, this is going to be fixed, right? You don't have to remove this like you tend to have to do when you have an L shape. Also, I just want to show you, I'll kind of walk in here. You have big slides, right? Let me flip the camera around. I mean, I am 6 foot tall, and you can see how much space I have here with the slide boxes. Not like I'm going to get up and hit the slide or anything like that. That also allows for bigger windows by having a bigger slide box. So you get better visibility, and of course, it brings in more natural light. You can see the TV right there with this beautiful kind of decorative, I don't know what you want to call that, wall. They took this right out of Montana's playbook, right? They have this in Montana. I think it's super, super cool that they brought it into the high country here as well. TV there front and center, nice big fireplace down underneath. Right up above me, that is going to be your Furion Chill Cube, 18K BTU on that bad boy, love that. Of course, we have a vent fan over here as well. Now let's talk about this, because this is going to be very unique as well. Take a look at this. You have like a library style ladder, right? I mean, this is like something, you know, we all grew up with, like, well, maybe not all of us, but a lot of us grew up with like Beauty and the Beast, right? So with this, you can kind of, woo, come on up to my study. Look at all my books. But this is really cool. So you can slide that in and out. Now, this is a prototype. I'm told they're making a few modifications here, just because as I was talking to the rep, I said the biggest problem I foresee is that this is way too close to the slide. And if someone's not paying attention, because, you know, this lifts, it can be like out here and it's going to clip it and it's going to be a problem. And they said they are working on that. They're going to have a way to secure it to the wall so that during travel, it's not going to be a problem for the slide out. So just know that, yes, I'm aware of that, brought that to their attention, not going to be an issue. Also, before we go up, I did want to point this out. That is the subwoofer. And so that's cool that that's there. And also this is going to change. I'm told they're going to push this. Right now, it's a little bit of a gap, and they're aware that that is undesirable for dust reasons. So they're actually going to push this up against the wall. That way, you know, again, it helps eliminate that and just makes it a little bit cleaner. Now, as we come up the steps, up here, you're going to have 3 bunk mats. So 3 sleeping spaces. The cool thing about this, folks, is this is 35 inches tall. So most kids are able to sit up in here. I mean, even as an adult, right, I can actually sit up in here. I'm sure my head touches, but I can sit up, which is pretty great. You can see that you have shelves built in and a spot for a TV. I mean, imagine, right? The kiddos are up here. They can have their PlayStation up here, playing games, hanging out. What a cool space. Again, windows on both sides for some cross ventilation. And I don't know if you can see it, but there is an AC right there. So, you know, it's your second AC, keep things nice and cool. That is going to be ducted up there too. But my favorite part about this whole thing, check this out. You want to watch a movie? It's time for the kids to go to bed. Boom. You can close that sucker off. How cool is that? I've never seen that in an RV before. I love, love, love that design. Instead of just a curtain, boom, close that off. Now you can watch TV, do your thing. It just gives the privacy for you out here and for the kiddos in there. They're certainly going to enjoy it as well. You can also see the accent lighting going all the way across. Big fan of that. Dropping back down, going into our campside slide, this is going to be kind of a desk table combo. So as you can see the way it's set up right now, you have kind of like this desk area. So if you need to work, you can do that. You get a shot right out to your campsite, which is fantastic. But this does pull out. So if you have guests, sorry, it's a little tough one-handed, might be locked. Yeah, sure is. Let me undo the lock. There we go. But you can pull this out like so. There you go. Boom. Now all of a sudden, look how big that is. Now you can easily fit 4 people there. You can have a meal. But, you know, you don't want this here permanently because it gets in the way, so no problem. You can just push it right back in, and just like that, it disappears. You can lock it back into place. I think that's, again, a good addition. Kind of coming around to the side, large pantry. You can see that that is lit, and these are adjustable shelves, so you can obviously move them to whatever you desire. I also like that they don't come all the way to the front. So if you have like a broom or Swiffer or something that you want to sit right in front here on the side, there is still space for that. And it is very bright. You know, because they used a strip LED rather than just like one puck up at the top, it makes the whole thing nice and bright, lights the whole thing up. And when it's closed, It's going to be tinted, which I love because nobody wants to see what I have going on in there. So fan of that too. Over to this side is the fridge freezer, and as you would expect, right, plenty of room here. You have the fridge on your right, freezer here on your left. So much cold storage. And right behind me is going to be the kitchen. So again, solid surface countertops in here. You have the workstation sink. You can see the glass rinser. You have the soap dispenser, high-rise pull-out faucet. And then you have your controls over to the side as well as all your baskets. Plus, you're going to have your vegetable rinser hanging out right there. Now, you'll also see in the kitchen kind of over here, you get all this extra countertop space. You have electrical outlets all over the place. You can see you have 3 of them in here. So it gives you a lot of options to where you want to put like your coffee maker or other appliances. In a beautiful backsplash, and I love that the manufacturer did this, they go from the bottom all the way up to the top. A lot of manufacturers will end here, and I don't know why, but I like that they went all the way up there. You can see lights underneath. It is nice and bright. 3-burner cooktop with an oven plus storage right down over to the side. Now, under the sink, I do want to point out there is tons of storage under here. So if you want a trash can there, because that's where I naturally want to put it, because that's where I have it at home, you can do that. But they also built this in. So if you want one here, I don't know if you can see that in there, but there is one there as well. Now, if it is me, and I know I'm not everyone, but personally, I'm putting my main trash can underneath the sink. And then in that other one, this one right over here, this one for me is going to be cans, right? Makes sense? I like it. And so that way you kind of have your 2 different trash cans. I also want to point out you have an electrical outlet right in here. I think that was pretty cool. Nice design to put that there. You will see storage all the way up top, microwave there. And again, another max air fan so you can quickly circulate the air all the way through here. So much storage in the kitchen. Wonderful, wonderful job here by High Country. The handrail to be able to get up the stairs. And then look at this gorgeous bathroom. Man, this remodel, they did such a good job from construction with upgrading the frame to all the design that they have gone into it. I am really, really happy with Montana and High Country and the redesign. They are coming out strong. Nice big towel rack right here. You can see linen closet over to the side. Spot for a trash can underneath. Porcelain bowl here. And again, remember folks, this is the second bathroom, right? Because we had the one in the back. Once again, nice big solid surface countertop vanity there. You have storage over to this side here, right? So, all of your goodies that would normally go in a medicine cabinet, you can put right over there. Then you have this really cool backlit mirror that I like. And then look at this shower. This again is one piece. It's kind of almost spa-like, right? You get the oxygenic shower head here. You still get the little spot for your foot to shave. You do unfortunately lose the shelf in here, but you do get the teak seat in case you want to sit. And then you also have the really nice drain. And then once again, even though it's not quite as high as what we had in the back, I mean, folks, I can still be 6'2" and be able to stand in here without any kind of issues. Thanks to this skylight. And this skylight, as you can see, covers basically the entire shower. So height is not going to be a problem unless you are a really, really tall person. Tankless water heater as well as you would expect. So that way, as long as you have hookup, right? As long as you have city water, which with something this big, at 15,000 pounds, I'd imagine you're not towing it everywhere, but I could be wrong. As long as you have full hookup, you essentially have unlimited hot water. Now up front in the primary bedroom here, the main bedroom, the master bedroom, whatever you want to call it, this is going to be our king bed. Shelves on both sides. We have electrical outlets with USB ports there. Again, windows on both sides as well. And this will be our 3rd AC, folks. 3 ACs in this High Country. That is absolutely crazy for the price point of this camper. Again, because this is meant to be, this is not the Montana. This is a High Country. But it's a great blend between the two, in my opinion. You have the bar that is lit. I love this, the hanging rod with the light built in. I think that is so stinking smart. And take a look at that. You have a spot for a stick vacuum right over there. Nice little charger. You can take that bad boy out, do everything you need to do. I think it's cool they tucked it away in there. You also have storage underneath. And as you would expect, I'm sure, because you probably saw the louvered doors, yes, you also have washer dryer prep. So if you want a stackable unit, you plan on spending a whole lot of time in here, this lets you do it. If you don't want washer and dryer, this whole thing still becomes wardrobe space. Now over on the other wall, you're gonna have a TV right here, window down underneath, and then our dresser there wrapping out the bedroom space. But again, folks, it's not just about the inside, right? As I said, they went through an upgrade, they went through a rebrand. It's about construction too. So let's go outside, take a little look at some of the construction features. Okay, let's take a look at some of the outside features. Now, I've already been running a little long on this video, so I'm gonna go through it kind of quick, but I do wanna hit on a few things because there are definitely some important things here, things of note. One, besides the fact it just looks really cool, obviously you get the painted front cap and then drop down. We get the Curt Helix pin box. This is currently the best pin box in the industry. It uses this coil and this shock to help reduce the chucking when you are starting and stopping your vehicle and giving you a smoother ride. They say it also helps reduce the vibration into the frame by up to 30%, which is pretty darn incredible. You see a light right out here, and then as we go down and in, this should have motion sensor. Yep, there we go. Just want to show you a few components. So one, over to this side, right, this is obviously all open storage space. We have our solar charge controller. We can see the pure sine wave inverter, battery disconnect. Sorry, that is going to be your solar panel disconnect right there. We do have a battery disconnect over to the side. You have another charge controller location there in case you want to go full in on solar. You can also see tire pressure monitoring system prep, and then of course our battery box is going to be located right over here. Hydraulic fill over to the side. So yes, even with the High Country, some of the big changes here when we're talking about the 2027s, folks, they have gone to a 6-point hydraulic auto level. So that's going to be a big one. Having that hydraulic auto level is a huge feature upgrade. Now propane, open this up for you so you can see you have a 30-pounder on this side, 30-pounder on the other side. Nice big pass through. I mean, that's, you know, absolutely monstrous here. You can see that you have the kind of like this, I don't even know what you want to call it, grippy floor. That's a terrible name. But anyway, this does non-slip. How is that? You have the non-slip floor. The thing I do like about this though is it's all finished off, right? And it's not going to be quite as big as a Montana because you don't have like the drop frame, right? Like this doesn't go all the way down, but it's still going to be a large space, and you have the LED light. And again, everything is finished off. It is still heated. I don't know if you can see that. That is a heat duct right there. You have the inverter prep over to the side. Your awnings and slide controls are out here as well, so you can stand outside, make sure you're not going to hit a tree or anything. And then you're going to have TV hookup as well as electrical right there. You have the nice big wide entry door. So if you have like a tote, you're able to get in there much easier. Plus you have the 4 steps here on the solid steps, aluminum treads. You get the MORryde safety handle. And take a look at the awnings, folks. This is a High Country, mind you, not a full-blown Montana. And you have 3 power awnings. I mean, this entire thing, it basically is awning. So you have coverage front to back. You'll also notice the frameless windows. That is going to be an upgrade on the High Country for this year. And then as we drop down, something else I want to point out is the fact that they have gone to the Curt slipper roller springs. So that is going to be an upgraded suspension, right? That suspension there is going to give you, it's going to be about a 20% smoother ride than what you would have with the standard leaf springs. So again, it is going to be smoother ride than it has ever been before. Now, one of the biggest things that I want to point out here though is right back here. This is something that I have yet to see on a double bedroom fifth wheel, and that is the outside kitchen. You get the fridge, you get the TV right here, and you get the propane quick connect right underneath. And I like what they did with the doors. They knew that the awning arm was here, so rather than have one that flips all the way up or have this monstrous one that's hanging off the back, they split it. That does have a magnet, so it's secured there. That way you don't have to worry about the awning arm. Now, I did talk to them about this space, and I think they're going to redesign it. My understanding is that they are talking about removing this shelf, so that way you can fit some bigger items in here, maybe, you know, bottles of apple juice or something like that. I hear they come in 750 milliliters, so you can put those right in there. Then there's also going to be like a shelf that will be right here that will fold down, so you have a little bit of additional prep space, whether you're cooking, whether you're making beverages, whatever it may be. But I am told that that is going to get slightly reworked. Again, this is a prototype, so things are subject to change, but I love the fact that they have an outside kitchen. Coming around to the back. This is that rear entrance I showed you. Again, you still get the more ride step above steps with the aluminum treads. All the way up top there, you can see your backup camera prep, but it's not just a ladder prep. This actually has a ladder. That way you can climb up onto the fully walkable roof. You don't have to, buy the extendable ladder, have a place to carry that. You can just climb on up there, whether it's for maintenance, inspection, or just, getting up there to see the stars. Coming over to the side, I do just want to show here. Ooh, that's flashing red. They better do something about the electric. we are in the factory here, folks. Obviously, we're just kind of rigging this to have lights. But this is really cool because, as you can see, this is saying, hey, the ground is not safe, right? And then you have leg 1, leg 2, and neutral. These are all good. Those are green. We have something going on with the ground there. That is a really cool plug. I think it's Watchdog is what they call it. But that allows you, when you plug into the campsite, it will let you know, hey, something is off, something's not right. The other thing I want to show you that I really liked about this trash can is that they put a strap in here. Like, I don't know why this took so long for manufacturers to do and to realize that, hey, this is going to move around. This is a big compartment. They put a strap there. That way it is in place and it's actually going to line up when you drop things in there. All right, a couple last things. Tankless water heater right out here. And then I really want to show this because this is something that Montana started doing last year. And that is they give you individual hot and cold valves hot and cold valves for every single one of your faucets in the RV. Why is that important? If something goes wrong and you need to shut it off, you have a shut off right here, and this is going to be a home run. It runs straight to that faucet. So this makes serviceability so much easier. Now you're not out of commission for a week because you have a faucet issue. If something's leaking or you need to replace it, boom, boom, good to go. You also see your Key TV multi-source signal controller, which is super simple to operate for hooking up cable and antenna. We have solar on the side. Again, redundancy. We have our 3 slide controls over here. You have outside shower, our Nautilus system for all of our water hookups, black tank flush, and insulated valve bodies right down below there. I'm telling you folks, this thing is a killer fifth wheel. If you're looking for something where you can sleep a lot of people, whether you have a big family, whether you want to rent this out, if you're looking at this as potential income, you're going to use it a few times a year, park it. The rest of the time, you're going to have guests stay in it and make a little bit of money. This is a beautiful one to do it with. If you're interested and you want to know price and availability, there will be a link down in the description. Thanks for watching, folks. I'm Ian Baker. Until next time, we'll see you.